We're just gearing up for a backpacking trip. It's going to be a one-nighter. We are up here in the parking lot for Packwood Lake. And when I say we, it's me, Frodo, Luna, and Jennifer Lupine. Oh, I like your colors. Where are you going to go today, guys? Are we going to go to Packwood Lake? You want to sleep in a tent? Getting our start just before noon. We had a tailgate lunch, hydrated, and now we're hitting the trail. And look at that. Got a view of Mount Rainier peeking over the hills. Here's a map of where we're going. We are starting at the trailhead here, and we're going to go up along the trail, and here's the lake. And you can actually walk along the lake, and it should be just beautiful. If you want to do more hikes from the lake, there's Lost Lake and a few other places you can hike to as well. And beautiful fall colors in the vine maples. And we're starting right up with a climb. Oh, there's that squirrel. The dogs see a squirrel up there on the log. You can't really see, but it's really kind of dim in here. It's a second growth forest. All these close trees, you can tell how close they are by the lack of undergrowth here. Glad to finally be on the trail.
Yay, yeah, finally. Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, it was a beautiful drive down here, and I'm just so excited that we have good weather.
Oh, yeah.
It's the, was this not the last weekend in September, but we're getting close to the end of our good weather windows. We're almost a mile in. We're still climbing gradually. Pretty nice climb. Beautiful forest. Mostly obscuring the view, but now and then you get glimpses that tell us how far up we are. The tiny grotto. Moss just dripping. We've come in just a little over 2 miles now, and we are entering the Goat Rocks Wilderness. We're in the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. And I'm hearing a little stream up here. Saw these little white mushrooms, but then I looked over here, and we have some little yellow mushrooms popping up too. Cute. I just came out into this opening where the vine maples are ruling the forest in gorgeous color. Huge boulders here. This is really cool. It's like an autumn wonderland. What's in here? Just admiring the gorgeous colors up here. And Jen fits right in with her pretty orange shirt. I think it looks great, but part of the reason she wore it is because it's archery season in this area, and it is smart to be safe. I am wearing green and gray, so if something happens, it will happen to me. No, I think we'll be fine. But how are you liking this trail?
Beautiful.
Okay, we are at 4.21 miles, and I don't think you can see it, but there's a glimmer of beautiful blue through the trees. Frodo. We reached the lake. There's Packwood Lake, and this must be the new ranger station. There's a historic ranger cabin, and there's a new ranger cabin. And we are going to be going around this side of the lake and looking for a campsite. We've got about 4.5 miles here, and looks like the restrooms are right here. So there are restrooms, and I don't know if these are the only ones or not, because that might be a long walk from our campsite.
2-mile-long Packwood Lake does have a man-made dam, although it was formed by a massive landslide about 1,200 years ago, when part of Snyder Mountain to the northwest broke off and plugged up the Lake Creek Valley.
A little sign here that says camping prohibited. This is a nice little day use area. They don't want people filling it up with their tents. And look at that. Wow, that's so pretty. I think the island is called Agnes Island, and then the peak behind it I think is Johnson Peak. That's the historic ranger cabin. What a beautiful location. Dispersed camping. You can camp for 14 days. Pack it in, pack it out. So we do have to have some kind of permit, and there's supposed to be a box across the bridge somewhere. Wow, so deep and so clear. There's a dam right there. So this is a reservoir. We're walking along the lake looking for a campsite. We might get down as far as the other end. And this is Three Peaks Trail, 2.5 miles that way. Coyote Trail number 79, 3.5 miles. But we are going to just continue along the edge of this beautiful lake. Somebody with a boat out there by the island. Let's see if I can zoom in. Not really, not with this. Right there, there's a boat. Ooh, it's warm in the sunshine. Luna's in front, but Frodo's dragging behind. You dragging? I had to keep him moving because he's crying, and Jen was trying to get a little bit of peaceful video with some natural ambiance. He gets bored immediately if we stop. We've got a sunny little spot here, and we've got like a tent area here and a tent area right in here. So I'm just moving some pine cones. I'm gonna put up my tent, and we have this beautiful, beautiful view. There is the island, Agnes Island. It's kind of blending in.
My problem is I put my tent in early.
Here's our $1 million view. There's home for the night. But the one downside is a little slopey, but the worst part is getting in and out. I am on a bank, basically, on the edge, but it's doable. I just got to get my sleeping pad and bag in there, and then I'm done. It's starting to look homey in there. The reason that we grabbed this small campsite with the slopey little tiny footprint is because we talked to some people who'd already been around the lake looking for a campsite, and they said the next campsites down, you wouldn't have a lake view because it was wilderness area. So if we wanted to camp right on the lake shore, we would have to grab, like this was the last one. So we grabbed it, and I hope they're right. We're gonna walk down and fact check them later.
While the signs clearly said that you could not camp right on the lake shore in the wilderness area, all of the campsites further down were actually right on the lake, so we could have probably got a bigger site. This was fine.
Luna, are you looking for bees? I hope not.
No, she's being good.
Good. She looks like she's looking for something. Did you find some good grass, Frodo?
She's looking like maybe she's gonna take a nap.
Jen and I sat at the edge of the lake and had a great time with our feet in the water, watching little fish, and she even noticed some really cool little crawdads in the water. Unfortunately, none of my footage of those turned out. But we did get a view of this common merganser swimming about.
So we're out getting our water, and this sign after this area, you need to register, and you need to also be 100 feet from the water's edge. So there's my bee free. Whoop, I have to pay attention to where it's going. I didn't film mine, but Jennifer's got her little MSR going. She's having Mountain House beef stroganoff with noodles, and I'm having something I've never tried before called Good to Go Pad Thai.
While my food hydrated, I watched these little fish swimming around.
Post-dinner nappies. Luna's being bugged by some kind of bug, I think. But they had their food, some water, and kind of some shade.
After sunset, we walked back to the toilets before we settled in for the night, and it was a nice nighttime walk.
There's a toad in there. You guys don't get the toad. So we're walking back to our tents in the dark.
That was so exciting.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you go in front again. Wow. That's impressive.
This little friend was about 4 inches long. Really cool.
Yeah. Not very light out yet. It is almost 7. It's a little rainy this morning. You can see Luna's head, but Frodo's buried under the blankets with me in the sleeping bag. I'm actually partially in the sleeping bag. The dogs got the best. It was a very peaceful night, but this is very slopey, and I will choose a flatter place next time for sure. I heard an owl in the night, and I heard something chewing, maybe a beaver or something in the water. It is a wet morning, but pretty. My tent is hanging onto the slope for dear life. Looks like everything shifted. So I am just sitting in my tent, and it's still raining. What we're planning to do is I have to wait half an hour before I can have my coffee, and the dogs need to go for a walk. So Jen's having her breakfast, and then we're going to walk the dogs, and then I'm going to have my coffee. We're going to pack up and head out, and hopefully it will dry out a little by then. We'll see. It's a disaster in here. I was trying to shore up the mattress so I wouldn't keep sliding. It was a losing battle. What do you think about this backpacking thing, Frodo? You're going back to bed? Hey Jen, how'd you sleep last night?
Oh, well, it was me and gravity sliding a little bit in a slippery quilt, but felt good.
And now we're off for a walk. We're gonna see what's at the other end of the lake where we didn't camp. It's probably flat and nice. There's our tent. And there's Jen's tent down the slope. That is a misty, rainy morning.
Is this the boundary then, you think?
Yeah, we are back at the boundary of the wilderness, and we're just gonna walk to this other end of the lake. We're all in our raincoats. As we pass the wilderness boundary, there's a requirement to have a permit, self-filled out. It's not an extra cost or anything, even if you're just doing day use. So we're just walking to the other end of the lake, but Jen went ahead and filled one out. It wants to know how many people, stock, and dogs are coming back here. So we did what we needed to. Better to do that than get a fine. And now we're carrying on. There's the other end of the lake. We've almost got there. It's gonna be a nice little morning hike by the time we're done. Well, we've come over 1.25 miles in. We're almost to the end, but I don't think there's anything spectacular at the end. That was just kind of our original goal. We've enjoyed this forest walk along the lake, and now we're gonna walk down into this campsite and then head back to camp and pack up. The sign said after that wilderness that all campsites had to be 100 feet from the water, but all of the campsites are just continuing to be right on the shore, just like they were. So we could have probably found a nicer, flatter campsite, but it wasn't bad. Oh, you're a climbing dog. There's the dry spot where my tent was. The last thing that's going in is the down blanket that the dogs are sitting on. Jennifer's getting her tent all done. You can see the little dry spot her tent made.
What if I just do it together? I'm just going to leave it together.
That's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea.
And my raincoat soaked through. So I'm going to just stick it in the backpack. And right now, it's not raining. Just a misty, misty morning. We're going to head back out on the road. There's a ATV road, bicycle road. It's a 1/2 mile shorter than the hiking trail, and it's supposed to have better views, which I don't know we're going to get today, but we wanted to see what that's like, kind of make a loop out of it. Everything's so vibrantly green and beautiful. We're just going to take our time hiking out, see the wildlife and the scenery. The color of the water is beautiful. Our last look. Goodbye, Agnes Island and beautiful Packwood Lake. I could see us coming back here. There's our road. At first, a pit stop. All right, here we go on the road. Coming out on the road, we actually get another closer look at this dam.
Designed to have minimal impact, the water is diverted through a 5-mile pipeline. The 1,800-foot drop in that pipeline creates the pressure needed for the generator turbine.
Well, that's spooky. The water's swirling up out of that hole from... Yeah. And rain. There's the bridge we crossed. This is nice. Coming down alongside Lake Creek here. The wind is shaking all of the rain out of the trees onto us, so it's pretty wet. This pack is a beast. But we're on our way out. It was a great night of camping, and we're seeing a new trail. Well, our trail is pretty muddy and wet, but we're doing okay. We are 2.5 miles from our campsite. So I think we are 2 miles from our car, maybe? Maybe 2.5, but maybe 2. This is beautiful. There's a lot of ups on this road, but it's not bad. Kind of a rock slide area up ahead. And we got the sun trying to break through, but it's still very misty. Looking at this pine tree and the size of its cones here. They're really big. There's the parking lot that we parked in, and continuing down this road would take us to the pipeline parking lot. So we're going to take a little trail here. It just goes right past these trees. It's kind of faint, but watch for it when you start seeing this area. It's a steep little trail. We are almost there. There's my Xterra. Oh, it's going to be nice to sit down without a pack. Great adventure. And the rain held off. It was a really great weekend of backpacking. Even one night, just get out there and enjoy. Even if it's going to rain, we enjoyed. We really lucked out with the timing of the rain. It was very kind to us. The weather was great. I will get you the stats on the hike later. We did kind of a morning hike this morning that I have some stats on, and then because it was broken up over 2 days, I don't have everything ready yet, but I'll put that on here so you know what to expect if you're heading out. It was so great to have you backpacking with us.
It was fun. It was
It's
our
much
first
nicer.
backpack.
Yes, much nicer than just me and the dogs. It was really great.
It was fun, and they did a great job. And yeah, hopefully we can go again.
Yeah, what was your favorite part?
I don't know. It was just the lake was so pretty.
It was
fun.
Beautiful.
Even though our spots were a little slanty,
Oh,
it was
yes.
nice to be there.
That was
by
maybe the
lake.
worst part, was the slanty spot we camped in. Jen just treated me to scone and a coffee here at the Mountain Goat. And let me tell you, that breakfast scone, I will be back for again. It is so good.
If you haven't checked out Jennifer Lupine's channel on YouTube, I highly recommend it. I'll put a link in my description.